Hi, my name is Missy. So let's do some readings. I have some new cards that I want to share with you guys today. I'm not exactly sure what kind of reading this is going to be, as usual. I'm just going to wing it like I always do. If you've been watching any of my most recent readings, you know that I've been trying to focus these readings around the cards that I've been purchasing to offer for sale on my website. And so here we have a new deck. This one is called the Universal Transparent Tarot. So very interesting deck. As you can see, each of the cards is basically transparent with the exception of, oh, I have them upside down. I don't have my glasses on, forgive me. I'm trying to be able to see the computer screen so I can see that whether or not the camera's focusing. So as you can see, it has the picture of each of the tarot cards, but for the most part the card itself is clear, and that's so that you can build them. See? So we're going to use them right now. We're going to use them in a reading. Let me actually explain a little further. This card here is part of the set. I actually glued it to the inside of my board so that I could use this to do this particular reading. I'm going to make some other real quick readings with this as well. But this is the background card that say once you pull your cards, if you put this over the background, then you can see your image there. You can build on top of it. Very cool. So let me show you the rest of, well, not a whole lot left, but there's this card which I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to be for. I just took it out because it confuses me. I haven't figured out a way that I want to use it yet. So unless someone knows, but to be honest, I did not read the book. I don't ever read a book when I get a new deck of cards. That's my rule. And funny enough that I was just talking to someone this morning who I've been trying to teach how to read cards, and she was reminding me that one of the first things that I told her, which I know that I tell everyone this is the biggest and best piece of advice I can give to anyone who reads cards, which is throw the book away. When you get your deck of cards, throw the book away, put it in a drawer, put it somewhere where you're not going to look at it, where you're not going to read what someone else's interpretation of those cards is. You want to get to know the cards for yourself, right? So anyway, I did not read this book. I don't know exactly if this card here is supposed to have a special meaning, but this one was pretty easy to figure out. And as you can see, the book is pretty small and it has a couple of different languages here, so you're only going to get maybe 10 or 15 pages of information for the cards anyway, so you kind of have to figure it out with these decks. All right. So one thing I'm noticing with this deck, because I have been playing with it, excuse me, it's a little slippery. So if you're someone like me who likes to use lotion, that kind of stuff, like, you might want to pay attention to that, because they do get a little bit, they get slippery. I've had a few times that they just kind of slide everywhere and the cards fly. Other than that, they're pretty easy to handle, pretty well made. So let's get into it. What we're going to do is, I'm actually going to do the reading first here with the focus card. I'm going to show you guys how to build them to get your reading. Unfortunately, I do not have a camera that I can zoom in so that you can see the cards better. That's something I have to look at in the future. But I will explain it as we go, and then at the end we'll go ahead and pull some charms to see if there are any extra messages that your team wants you to have. All right, so take a minute to breathe with me. I'll go ahead and get the cards shuffled. I'm gonna have to do this. I didn't think about my cute little setup here. And actually, now that we're talking about the setup, that reminds me of something else that I wanted to explain for this reading. Because of the astrology that we have happening right now, we've got Venus combust, along with the solar eclipse happening. So Venus goes combust on the 23rd, I believe it is, and then we have the solar eclipse on the 25th. And so, you know, this is energy, especially with everything that was happening in Libra recently, all of this relationship energy that we have going on, the retrogrades. There's a very good chance that there will be, you know, relationships happening, relationship issues happening, love issues happening. So I wanted to focus this reading on that. I want to focus solely on love. This is not going to be anything about work, money, none of that kind of stuff, unless it comes up as part of the love reading. Sorry, the song in the background is kind of catching my attention. I wasn't in the reading yet, but we have Young Life Crisis by Upsall. That could be a message for someone that you may want to look up. So anyway, when I was looking at, you know, what were the crystals and things that I wanted to incorporate into the reading, like what is the energy that I wanted to bring into the reading, because we're talking about love and relationships, well, I was looking at what I had, and every single piece that I have picked for this particular setup here, including this particular box, actually, with the exception of the cards and the flowers, and actually I have a couple of rings here too that were gifts as well. But anyway, but with the exception of the flowers and the cards and this particular board here, everything here was a gift from someone to me. So they all hold special meanings. So I want to kind of leave this here, which means the reading may take an extra minute or two so that I can shuffle between, because I don't want to have to move my board out of the way. I want to keep the picture pretty. All right, so now take a minute to breathe with me, please. Hi, Gemini. All right, so breathe with me. I'm going to get the cards shuffled really well. We'll get into your reading. Think about your question. That's the thing about these cards. They slide everywhere, but strangely, I feel like these two are the ones. So maybe they were meant to just slide it right out, right? All right. Okay. So interesting. We've got the Hermit and the Ten of Swords. Somebody's feeling very depressed, very sad, and I should have known that by the song that's in the background. Hold on. Bother by Stone Sour. You might want to see that starts off with wish I was too dead to cry, my self-affliction fades, stones to throw at my creator, masochist to which I cater. Yeah, very dark song, but so somebody's very sad. Let's see why. Oh, you actually have a lot of cards peeking through, at least 4 of them, well 5. I can almost see all 6 of them. So a lot of details coming through on the bottom of the deck for you. So first let's talk about this Hermit and Ten of Swords energy. So what that's saying is that with the Ten of Swords, as you can see from the card, he's dead. You see the blood everywhere, right? They've kind of made it look like a cloak, but really that's blood. He's been stabbed 10 times and he saw the betrayal coming. He knew it was coming. And so, like, that's kind of what the Hermit card is talking about. You have to do your shadow work. Because there's something, so here's the thing. This is that, like, victim mentality, right? You're in a situation, in a relationship, because that's what these readings are about. You're in a relationship where you know the person is going to do this to you, and you're like, well, I think I'll just wait and see what happens. Well, I'm not so sure. Maybe I'll just give it another try. Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound so like, it's not that I don't have compassion. I do. Trust me, I've lived this loop myself where, you know, the people that I care for don't have the same care for me that I do for them. Like, they don't treat me with the same regard. In fact, it's been a hard lesson for me to have to learn in my life, is that not everyone is going to treat me with the same regard that I treat them. And so I have to accept that, right? That, you know, just because I give them my care and affection does not make them obligated to return the favor either. That's also something else that, you know, maybe this is kind of what you need to pay attention. Oh, and now I know it is because of the song that just came through, which is Special by Ash Nico. It starts out and it says, you're not special, it's not cute, just one step and you, or just one strike and you get the boot. So basically it's saying, like, it's not saying you're a fuck boy or fuck girl or whatever, which is what the song is about. It's just basically saying, like, you know, just because you give someone love doesn't mean that they are obligated to return the favor. And that could be what's at play here. Just because you feel a certain way about someone else, you have so much whatever emotion, whatever it is. And I think there's a lot based on this here. The Ace of Cups, the Page of Cups, right? We've also got the Emperor, the Four of Swords, two fours sitting on top of each other. I can't really tell which card this is here, but we also have the Four of Wands. So this is all about security as well. Could even be like, maybe you thought this was going to lead to marriage, or you thought this was going to lead to commitment in some way. That's probably the reason that you made this offer of love over here, or that you spoke of the love, because I do think that you told somebody how you feel. For some of you, maybe you even spoke of marriage. And then your person kind of said, well, let me think about it. Let's put this on hold. And now you're sitting in this spot over here kind of upset. I gave them everything, right? That's what this energy is, let's be real. Especially with this song and you know, the way the cards are sitting, like, that's what this energy is, let's be real. It's like you're sitting back with this victim mentality of, I did X, Y, and Z, I gave X, Y, Z, I changed X, Y, Z, because let's be real about something else. Gemini changes their mind quite a bit. They change quite a bit. Especially, you know, they like to learn. They're very adaptable. They're immutable signs. So whenever there's someone new, fascinating around, they want to learn all about them, which is obviously going to influence them, right? So once you learn something new, you start taking on, or start, you know, either, let's say it's music, right? Like, let's say you're somebody who typically would listen to country music, and then you meet someone who listens only to rap. So suddenly now, all of a sudden, you're only listening to rap because you're getting to know this new genre that you've never really been interested in before, right? That's Gemini energy. Gemini does that all the time. And I feel like that's part of what's happening here. Like, maybe I got into, or I, you know, changed X, Y, Z because I felt this over here. And then now I'm on hold, or it's not being reciprocated, is how it feels to me. I want to ask the question about this over here. How does this person, this Emperor, feel? Like, why are they on hold? What's the reason for that? Because I'm pretty sure that's your question as well, if you're the one sitting here in this energy. So let's give the cards a few more shuffles, and then we'll see what they have to say. Interesting. Hold on. We have the song Forever After All, Luke Combs. I can't remember what the first couple of lyrics were, but it said something about 30,000 something. Hold on. Sooner or later, time is going to take its toll. They say nothing lasts forever. Hold on, but they ain't seen us together. Hold on. Okay, so this is like, and look at what's on the bottom of the deck right now. We've got the World, the Ace of Cups, the Four of Wands, the Page of Cups. This looks like, oh, I can't tell. Oh, we do have the Nine of Swords in there though, so hold on. There's still more energy of being depressed, but the rest of it's very, very positive. I just can't tell if that's the Queen of Cups or not, so I'm not going to read it. But that is the Nine of Swords there. So there is some worry and depression. Hold on. Somebody does want to get back together, or somebody does, hold on. Somebody does think this could be forever. I just don't know if that's you or them yet. I want to go back to shuffling because I want to ask the question, how is the other person feeling? Interesting. Look at how that one flipped out when I shuffled. I'm going to take it. So we have the Page of Swords. They're thinking, studying. Also the Page of Swords, there's a reason that you'll see every other tarot reader out there calls it the spy card, or when they see it they say somebody's spying on you on social media, because that's what the Page of Swords does. It's more Gemini energy where they go in and study something and research something. Well, a lot of times, especially nowadays, that research is going to happen on social media. So maybe they're really thinking about it, like they're really giving it some consideration, and you're sitting here like this. That's the energy that's coming through. We do have, again, we've got the World, we do have the Five of Swords, we have the Ace of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. Interesting, with the Five of Swords and the Queen of Swords, this tells me there could be arguments and conflict. Like also having the World card over the Five of Swords, there needs to be an end to, like if there is conflict and arguments, if somebody has a sharp tongue, you need to put an end to that. If you want this to come back together, you need to put an end to that, so that, like, get rid of the sharp tongue, soften it because of all of this, right? Especially being that the Ace of Cups on this side, or this row of the cards, the Ace of Cups is the most prominent card. On this row, the Five of Swords is the most prominent, being that it's sitting on top of the World card. The Ace of Cups is sitting on top of the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords has a sharp tongue and is probably the one who is, you know, winning every argument simply because of the sharp tongue, right? Like, if that's the case, that's a problem. And the sharp tongue needs to be softened in order to bring joy and happiness and celebration back to this situation. And the World card is an ending, a successful ending to conflict. So this is what they're thinking about. They're thinking about, well, okay, this conflict, this whatever is a problem. So if one of you has a sharp tongue, or likes to say exactly what they're thinking without, or excuse me, likes to speak without thinking, right? Say whatever's on your mind without measuring your words or thinking about what it is that you're getting ready to say. We have the song Breathe, 2 a.m. by Anna Nalick, N-A-L-I-C-K. Okay. Especially based on this song, because it's going, oh, breathe, just breathe. Be patient. Give this person time to figure things out. Even the song makes you feel like you want to just kind of sit back and sway, right? Like if you were sitting on a boat, a little fishing boat in very calm water. That's the feeling that I get from this song. Like, I feel like that's the advice. That's probably the best advice I could give you, is just breathe, be patient, give it time. To the table. Okay, so the lyrics here, hold on. And where she's saying, let me see if it's on here. It says, because you can't jump the track. We're like cars on a cable, and life's like an hourglass glued to the table. No one can find the rewind button, girl. So cradle your head in your hands and breathe. Just breathe. Oh, breathe. Just breathe. In other words, like, take your time. Be patient. Really. There's a light at the end. At each end of this tunnel, you shout, because you're just as far in as you'll ever be out. And these mistakes you've made, you'll just make them again if you only try turning around. Take that however it resonates. I'm going to get to the charms, because I really feel like that's kind of the exclamation point on the reading, where it's saying, be patient. And if you need to be patient, that means there really isn't any other information I can give you right now. So yeah, let's see what the charms have to say. Oh, something jumped out. What is it? Okay, so this is the rune of movement, and I'm afraid to like mess up my flowers, so I'll get that in a minute after I'm done filming this particular reading. Let's talk about what did fall inside of the chart. Actually, no, let's talk about that particular rune first, and then I'll talk about the rest of the stuff that fell on the board. Okay, hold on. I gotta distract myself so I can stop looking there and I can pay attention up here. So this particular rune here, I don't know if you can see that very clearly, but it fell in the neutral position, meaning it's sitting sideways. It's not upright, it's not reverse. There's no movement. More confirmation with the song that came through, the advice of just be patient. There's no movement in this situation right now. The more you try to push this situation, I think the more frustrated you're going to get. I don't know if the worse it's going to get. The reason that I say that is because of these two runes. Let me see if I can get this to focus so you can see those two. We have the rune of wealth and abundance, and we have the rune of what would be called God's breath, right? Or the rune of like answers, communication, information. And look at the way that they fell. They're also sitting neutral, but the abundance is almost in the upright, and the rune of answers, communication, is almost in the reverse. They need to balance out, obviously. They both need to be in the upright. Communication needs to become positive because it was negative before, obviously, as we already looked at in the cards. And in order for that abundance to become completely upright, that has to happen. The communication has to transform because of this butterfly right here. You can see these particular charms talk about love and be loved. This particular charm here says, I can't read it right now, but it says something about let me see if I can get it to focus. Hold on. Do as you would be done by, almost too simple, but this is all you need to get by, okay? And then you see that moon there with the stars on it, right? Again, healing your emotions, transforming how things happen is going to be really important, especially because look at this particular scales of justice. It's in the reverse. Something is really unfair right now. Someone is being very unfair right now. You got the number 12 die right there, 2 6s next to each other. So the number 12, the number 6, the number 66 could be important. And look at, you need to cut something or someone out of your life. We already talked about what you need to cut out of your life. Now let's talk about the rest of these, okay? Oh, we didn't even mention this, the solution, my open heart key right here, which is obviously for this particular reading, that is the solution, is to open your heart. If you want a solution to this problem, open your heart. Especially if you're the one being unfair in this situation. We have the song Make Me Bad by Korn. It's like kind of annoying me in the background. I'm not sure how it's going to play into all of this, but there's something about it. Like maybe there's something very annoying about this particular situation or relationship. Maybe you need to cut each other out in some way. I don't know. I don't think that that's like for everybody, to be honest, because I do think that that at least for a good portion of the people that it's just on hold right now. But I do have a feeling, especially because of this Five of Swords here, that maybe it, maybe for some of you it might not be a good relationship. Maybe cutting ties would be the way to go. Very interesting. So I want you to see the way these piled up, because this is always important when you're doing a charm reading. So if you can see right here where I'm pointing, we have 3 charms piled up. I can't really see which astrological symbol that is yet, but we've got what I call my happy moon and a number domino. Over here we've got the mermaid with the chicken. Someone's afraid to be themselves and reach out to someone else. That's number 1. That's very clear right here with the mermaid, chicken, and palm fronds. One person needs to reach out to the other side, but they're afraid to be who they are. They're afraid that they won't be received well. We've got 3 charms on top of each other. The I love you heart, the music symbol, and then we have the gateway or the archway. So let me see what this particular astrological symbol is and what the domino is. Okay, so we have Aries. You could be dealing with an Aries. Oh, and then look at, we've got the blank domino. It's like getting the blank rune. Everything is unknown. It's like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, right? Like, but it's also a new beginning, which is really Aries energy. It's a fresh start. This could be referencing the new moon solar eclipse that we're having here in a couple of days, how that could be very important for you, or it could also make you feel very happy, especially if you open your heart to love and relationships, especially opening your heart to this relationship. And then over here, this particular charm is a special charm that I put in my bucket because I wanted it to mean a message of love coming from a passed on loved one, a feminine or mother figure. This does not have to be your mother. This can be anyone who you would have regarded the same as your mother, like an aunt, a grandmother, a foster parent, a sister who helped to raise you, someone who mentored you, that type of thing, but a feminine energy. And then it could be that they are already sending you messages intuitively through the music. So pay attention to the music, pay attention to the music, pay attention to the music. With this archway here, this is about like ascending, right? Or moving on to the next phase. I think that's what the messages are about. They're trying to guide you intuitively which way to go, which doorway to walk through. So, and if that's not a message for the person watching, then this is a message. Like if you're the one who is waiting for someone to make a decision, then their people are trying to guide them into the correct doorway. So that's the reason that you need to be patient, because they need to have their correct doorway just as much as you need your correct doorway. And if you try to force a situation that should be cut apart, or should be where you should be distancing yourself, because even as much as you love this person, maybe they don't regard you the same way, right? And then you need to cut it off. If that's the case, then that means you then will find your correct path by being strong enough to say goodbye to this energy here. The last one that I want to talk about is the grapes. You're not paying attention to some sort of abundance that you have, and we have the song Daylight by Shinedown. playing in the background as your last song. I think that's the abundance that you're not paying attention to. Like maybe there's somebody or something that's been getting you up each day that you need to be grateful for or show your appreciation for in some way or pay more attention to in some way. Okay, so I hope that resonates. If it does not, please stick around. There may be another reading for you here on the channel that does. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends, anything you can to help me, and I thank you very much for watching.